and ball are handy. Standing in the middle of that mat, let's roll the shoulders up, back and down. Add a little bit of elbow movement. Feel free to step out a little wider. Create a bigger space with that whole body, letting it roll forward and lift up. Good, keep that going. One shoulder at a time, like you're doing a backstroke. Pull that elbow up, back and down, kind of exaggerate that pull back and down. Good, and then we'll swing. Adding a step touch. In a moment, we'll take 2 steps to the right in 4, 3, here you go. One more. Step touch only. Let's bring those arms and do a chest press. You can either do every time you step to one side, or you could double time it if you wanted, but that would not be much of a chest press. Good, then we'll tap those toes in front, might make it a little easier. Arms in front, or arms up. Hold the arms up. Reach with your left, reach with your right, shoulders out of your ears, knees up. Pull down. Arms come up and over. And then we angle it, rotating in the middle. In a moment, we'll stay on the right side and double time in 4, 3, here you go. One more. 2, 1. In a moment, we'll take 2 steps to the left in 4, 3, 2. Leave it here this time, step touch only. Hands on your hips, roll those shoulders up, back and down. Toes in front, arms in front, pull back this time. Add that knee lift. And then again, we're going to come up and over. In a moment, we'll stay on the left and double time in 4, 3, 2. Four more, 2 more, last one, step touch again. Good, stay with the wide stance. And then legs out, abs in, bend it down. And we'll roll through that cat. Inhale through that cow. Roll through your cat. Inhale through your cow. One more time, cat and cow. Drop your right shoulder in, look up over your left. Good, back through center, opposite direction. Back through center, first side. Back through center, other way again. Good, round it under, extend it out. Big deep breath in. Shoulders up, back and down. Pull your abs in and step together. We're gonna take that ball, we're gonna bring it between our shins. So above your ankles and below your knees. Hands on that chair if you want for balance, you might not need it. We're just gonna do some calf raises. As you come down, try not to shift weight into the heels and plunk down too much. Just some nice control here. Two more like this. Good, hold at the top, check your balance, even if your arms are windmilling or swinging around, just hang out here, up on those toes. And then we're gonna come over, we're gonna extend that left leg up in the air, we're gonna bend, we're gonna straighten that right leg. We're gonna do that single leg. Last two. Beautiful. Let's really quickly do the other side, then we'll stretch those calves out. So weight on that left leg, right toes off the ground, left leg straight up. Gentle on those hands. Two more here. Very nice. All right, we'll give those calves a quick stretch. So let's step forward with your right leg or left leg. Step back with your right leg. Lunge that heel down. Press forward. Keep pressing the heel down. Bend that knee a little bit. Roll up. Turn your toes in and the heel out. And lunge again, and that should feel really good. Bend that knee a little bit. Then roll up on those toes. Toes go out. Heel goes in. Lunge it. Bend that knee. Roll it up. Opposite leg back. Press that heel down. Bend the knee. Roll it up. Toes in. Heel out. Lunge. Bend. Roll it up. And then we'll go toes out. Heel in. Lunge it. And bend it. And bring it up. Shoulders roll out of our ears. Let's move that chair to the other side. Ball comes this time up between the thighs. I'm going to turn sideways just for a little reminder. We want to come up on those toes, walk them as close together as possible, and then imagine you're sliding down an imaginary wall by bending those knees forward, back, instead of booty out. We're just going to keep that back long. Squeeze the ball at the bottom as hard as you can and come back up. Sit down into it, squeeze the ball and up. Sit, squeeze, and up. Sit, squeeze, and up. Sit, squeeze, and up. Good. You're keeping the heels up the whole time, if that's okay with you. Should take that work into those quads a little bit more. Just two more. Good. Stay bent. Squeeze the ball. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Feel those inner thighs. And relax. Bring that ball out. Shake those legs out. We're going to work those quads a little bit more. So this time that ball goes in front of your left leg and right leg is out in space. Bend that right knee. Tap those left toes and come up. We're going to add a little bit of arm movement if you want. Two more. Beautiful. Hold it here. Lift that leg off the ground. Try and balance for a moment, sitting into that right leg. bring it up. All right, then we're gonna do this little tap to the side, but then squeeze up and in and use those inner thighs again. Open, squeeze in, open, squeeze in. Last two. Beautiful. Now we walk around so the ball is behind the right leg and in front of the left. And this is that one where you really reach back with that back leg, bend into this front leg, feel that, add that arm if you want, and then squeeze it in. Reach and squeeze. Almost there. This right hip should be feeling it by now. And relax. Let's cross that right leg over the left. Hips go up and over. Or excuse me, arms go up and over, hips go to the right. Bend both knees, bring your hands onto your thighs. Give me a cat. Give me a cow. And then extend that tailbone long. Bring that arm out if you can. Bring it up. And then you're back in that first position. Arm down and around. And do the other side. So again, the ball starts in front of that left thigh. Right toes off the ground. Bend that left knee. Tap the right and stand. Reach and stand. Arms if you want. Don't have to. Good, just one more. Beautiful. Now that ball is right between the legs. We reach and then we squeeze in. So we reach and squeeze in, reach and in, reach and in. Two more. Very nice. Then we're going to swing it around so that left leg is in front, right leg is slightly behind. And this is that long reach as you bend that left knee and reach. Cat coming across the screen. There she is. All right, and bring it up. Woo. Fall away, left leg over right. Hips go up and over to the left, arms come over, then turn a little bit, bend those knees. Give me a cat, give me a cow, extend that arm out, stretch, straighten the leg if you can, lift it back up. Beautiful. All right, back around with that chair to the first side. Fall behind that left leg, or excuse me, right leg, sorry. Let's just start standing tall. Bend that left knee. And as always, try and tuck your hips under rather than having that booty out. Have that right knee slightly behind the left, squeeze the ball, hamstring curl. Knees are squeezed together, so you're going to feel this a little more medial. That's the, the insides, the legs that are, as the legs are closest to each other. And I'm hoping you feel those hamstrings kind of right off the bat. Good, two more like that. Hold that squeeze, push the heel back. Come back to center, push back. Keep that left knee bent, tailbone tucked under, chest up. And now we're gonna put those two things together. We're gonna press back, squeeze up, come center, back up, squeeze, back up, squeeze. So it's sort of like a little circle almost. And relax for a moment. Bring that ball away. Step out with that right leg, bend the left knee quite a bit. Send your tailbone out behind you, flat back. Roll those toes up. Roll them back down and sit up nice and tall, or stand up nice and tall, sorry. All right, we're going back again with that ball behind the right leg still. Knees together, left knee is bent. This is that flare to the side. So basically a fire hydrant movement. Try and keep your right, or excuse me, your left hip from shooting to the left. Try and keep it directly underneath you. Two more. Come to the top, give it a squeeze and pulse it. Hamstring curl. And relax. Take that ball away. Go ahead, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Send that tailbone out behind you. Shake it side to side. Roll it under. And then extend it out again. And roll it under. And we'll do the other leg. The ball comes behind that left knee. Our right knee bends. Our left leg is just barely behind the right one, but the legs are squeezed together. Hamstring curl. Almost there. Good. Now we do the push back. Little hold at the back. Chest is tall, eyes out on the horizon. Tailbone under. Good. We put those together. We push back, we squeeze up. We push back, we squeeze up. So it sort of looks like a locomotive, little piston there. And relax. Let's give that hammy a little attention by bending the right knee, left leg out to the side, back nice and flat. You can lean on that chair if you want. Roll those toes up. Roll back down and stand up. And then that ball comes again right behind our knee. Right knee bends. Left leg is a little behind it and we flare to the side. As you flare to the side, notice if your hips want to move over to the right, try and keep them right below you. Good. Leave that leg up there. Hamstring pulse. And relax. All right, we will cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Bend that knee, stick that tailbone out, extend it, take a little rock side to side, roll it under, extend it out again. And roll it under, and then we'll bring it up. All right. We're going to bring that ball in front of your left hip here so that it's secure between your rib and your thigh. And then I just want you to squeeze that ball tighter, right? So this is how we start. I just needed to face you while you're doing that. And then when you're ready, you're going to turn and face your chair. Just slide it ahead, and you're going on a little angle here, but make sure your chair doesn't slide away from you. So now that knee comes up toward your ribs, but your whole body from heel through hip through shoulder is on an angle. Keep going. You should feel your abs, you should feel your hip flexor. Yeah, if you have a small ball, it might not work as well if your ball is really small, but you could move that ball either closer or farther away. Closer will probably work better if you get it even closer. If you hold it, that's okay. And relax. Step back with that leg that you just worked. Tuck the hips under and bend into that knee and get a nice stretch. And then we'll do the other side. So you know where we're headed, right? We're going to be here, but we're going to be on an angle, right? Which then adds that ab work. So from heel through hip through shoulders, we're on that angle and we squeeze up and in, squeeze up and in. And relax. And then once again, we're going to stretch that out. Sorry about that. We'll step back with the leg that you just worked. Hip over knee, in and tuck. Arm up. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do this little trick here, maybe. No, we're going to put the ball on the chair. Just sit up on that ball. We're going to extend that right leg out on a very slight angle, so it's not way out here, but it's not in front. Grow tall so you can use your hands to press tall, and then try and lift that leg at hip height. Notice if you rolled back and squished into a little ball, come up, and if you need to, keep your leg a little lower. And all we're going to do is flex through the heel and press, and press, and press, and press. Just should be pure quad work here. And bring that down. We'll stretch that in a second. Let's bring that left leg a little bit to the side, lift it up. And again, we're going to flex and press. I know it doesn't look like mine's moving much because it's not. Keep going. Almost there. And all right, move that ball out from under you. Scoot your right hip off. Tuck it under. Feel that big stretch across that quad. And hip flexor, arm comes up and over. And then we'll come back to center and stretch out that other side. So opposite leg drops off. Lean back, lift it up, bring it over. And come on back up. Okay. Now we are headed down to the ground, so you can move your chair out of the way. And let's come down, start in a seated position with that ball behind us at your sacrum and your tailbone. We're actually going to roll all the way over it for just a second. Support your head. See if you can roll forward and back on that ball a couple times, depending on your ball, of course, right? It might not work for you. And then roll all the way so that you can, once again, lean against it. Notice if your shoulders are rounded, give me a lift and a squeeze. Walk your ankles and your knees to touch. Pull back. You're going to rotate towards me, back arm lifts, rotate to center, other way. So just alternating the lift. And the rotation. and relax. Roll up against that ball, sit up tall, roll against that ball, sit tall, and then we'll move that ball so it's between our shoulder blades. We're going to give our chin, or excuse me, our neck a little stretch by nodding the head yes with the chin, and then curl. And then let's open the opposite direction. So up over the ball, a little bit of support with your fingertips to the skull, elbows reaching toward the ground, nod yes with the head so you get a nice opening. And then we're going to keep that chin nodded yes, not lift and lower it, but we're going to allow the torso to go up over the ball, and then exhale, close the ribs over the ball. So you inhale up and over, and then exhale, close those ribs. Keep that going for me, please. If you want to create a little more challenge, you could crisscross your elbows and support your head, but we put a little more weight over there. Or you could keep that, but then extend those arms long and cross again at the wrists. Beautiful. We're going to roll all the way forward so we can grab that ball, bring it between our inner thighs, walk the big toes to touch, arms are going to reach up overhead. Deep breath in, and then on the exhale, close those ribs, lift those knees, tabletop, grab the ball, extend the legs, grab or hand the ball off, extend the legs, grab and extend. So just a little simple double leg stretch here. Keep that going for me. I'm not alternating, but you guys can. If you want a little more challenge, stack your legs tabletop and see if you can roll the ball to the ankles, back to the knees, and then extend. To the knees, ankles, knees, extend, but you're still staying lifted, right? You're never coming all the way down. Two more like that, please. And then come on back to center. Lift your left leg in perfect tabletop. Put the ball against the middle of the thigh, hands against the other side. You're going to pull your thigh in, you're going to press your hands away, but you're going to do both at the same time so that instead of anything moving, you're basically just smashing that ball. If you want to, you can also extend that right leg. You can lift your head up, but for now, this is just an isometric contraction, so feel free to stay down and then relax. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. I'm probably not going to do the right side, but you're going to push that ball and that thigh. They're going to be in tabletop, remember. Then that left leg is going to reach and press and stretch, and neck and shoulders can lift if you want, but you don't have to. Then we'll come back to center, but we're going to start the whole thing, legs in tabletop. As you press against that left thigh, right leg can extend, and then as you push against that right thigh, left leg can extend. Again, I'm not doing that, but I think you guys know what to do. As one knee bends and you smash the ball against it, the other leg extends. Then this leg bends, the other leg extends, ball smashes against the thigh of the bent knee. And you are just trying to squish that ball, so you should get some tricep work in here. You should get some hip flexor work. You might feel a little bit in your thighs. And obviously your abs, by the way. Even yourself up. And then you're going to put that ball on your belly button or your rib cage. You're trying to create a space where that ball can be cradled and held, even as you lift your legs into tabletop. We're going to try and avoid putting the thigh up against the ball, however, right? So we sink those ribs and abs in so the ball stays in place as we go into toe touches. Inhale, thighs move away from the body, legs stay at that 90-degree angle. When you come back up, you take it nice and easy, exhaling as you come up. Chin is nodded yes, back of the neck is long. and relax. All right, that was version 1 of toe touch. Now we're going to bridge up. We're going to take that ball underneath our tailbone. So now we have that unstable environment for the toe touches. You could just lift your hands up and see how tough that is and maybe just stay there. Or you can keep your hands up and try toe touches, or you can put it back down and go back to your regular toe touch. Make sure the ball is underneath your tailbone, not way up underneath your low back. You have 2 more. And then you're going to reach up and move that ball out from under you, please. And we'll put that ball underneath our feet with the heels down and the toes up, or a bridge with the ball. So when you're ready, lift it up, get those hips as high as you can. We're just going to do a little hammy work here. So rolling the ball forward and back, that's all. Keep those knees together. And relax down. Option to stick with that for the next 2 rounds, or if you're up for single leg, put the ball underneath your left foot, bring that right knee into your chest and lift it into tabletop. And then when you're ready, lift your left hip up. So there you are. You should feel that in your left glute and hammy. You can roll the ball in and out, continue that hamstring work. You can lift and lower the hip, using those glutes a little more. You decide. And relax. Roll that ball underneath your right foot for me, please. Same position. Left leg in tabletop, hug it in, tabletop, lift it up. Option to roll the ball in and out using that right hammy, or lift and lower. You can do a combination. You could lift, lower, roll in, roll out, up, down, out, in. And relax. Ooh, relax for just a second. Let's hug both knees in, hands behind those hammies, let them separate a little bit, and then just rock one knee at a time in and out. And then we're gonna go ahead, we're just gonna roll right up and sit on top of that ball for a moment, please. Legs are wide. Shoulders out of your ears. Give me a hinge forward. Long, flat spine, spine stretch. And then all you're going to do, roll over so the ball comes underneath you. Stretch your legs out. Shoulder out of your ear, come up into your side plank. Ball should be right where you need it, so you can tap and lift, tap and lift. All right, you can keep doing that, or you can take a break and then go back to that, or if you like the balance, as always, your bottom ankle goes on first. You leave a lot of space for the top leg. Foot goes on that big gap, and then you come up side plank here. And gently down. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side, please. So find where you're going to be for your side plank. Protect that shoulder, of course. Bring that ball right underneath you when you come up. And then tap and lift. And again, you can just keep doing that. You can take a break and come back to it, or you can try the balance, which means bottom leg first, ankle on the ball, top leg goes with a lot of space for that foot, and then lift it up and straighten out those legs. And gently down. Go on over. Let's bring that ball to the top, maybe a little bit off the mat as you roll onto your abs. Lift one leg, stretch it long, toenails down, other leg, toenails down, kneecaps lift, hands out in front of you. The back of the neck is long, deep breath in. Exhale, press down to lift up. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and come back down, exhaling. Inhale, prepare, exhale, lift, inhale, squeeze back, and exhale down. Now you can make this lift just concentrated in the shoulder blade, so you get upper body work. If you want, you can squeeze the shoulders and then maybe lift up a little higher, so you get a little more arch in that upper back. And you can come as high as you want, bring an arch into the low back, but just being aware that you don't want to overdo that. And we're going to relax. We'll press back in our resting position. If you'd like to, you can actually use the ball back there and create space between your hamstrings and your calves. We're going to come up, ball is between those thighs. Give me a little cat-cow, rolling through. Undulating through that spine. Very nice. All right, and now we'll put that ball in the center of the mat. Let your belly button rest on that. Elbows under your shoulders, shoulders back and down. This gives us a really supported little back arch. If you want, you can turn this into a plank by lifting up, so you're in that pre-plank, or rolling onto the fronts of the thighs. Tailbone tucks under, make sure it's not sticking up in the air. Or of course you can tuck your toes. I think probably most of you are there, so you can roll that ball forward and back as if you're making sure that you don't create a flat tire, right? Keep going. Do that as long as you want. Stick with that if you want. Take a break and come back to it. Or if you like the balance plank, you're going to come over and it's going to be either under your ankles or the fronts of your feet. Not too far down, because you want to have enough space once you're up in that plank, maybe to lift those hips and pike it up. And then come back into your plank and hold it for a few seconds before you lift it back up again. So play with either one of those, please. And then go ahead, take a break, maybe stay on your abs, windshield wiper those legs a little bit side to side, loosen up that low back one more time. And then whenever you feel ready, let's come on back over onto your spine. And we're going to put that ball behind the right leg. So it's between the calf and the hammy. Give it a hug in, let it move over to the right. Move it down and around. And then bring it back to that shoulder, keep it there. Flex those toes back and use your right hand to pull those toes. So I'm on a little bit of an angle. Maybe let that left leg drop out at the same time. Move that foot side to side, point and flex, get a lot of mobility through there. You're welcome to use your other hand to play with those toes. And then keep your hand on those right toes, slide it so the knee comes inside of your arm, then slide that left leg out, flex. With those right toes up, secure the ball, and then roll that ball up to your ankle, point your toes, flex through the heel. As you come back down, bring that ball behind you again, bend the knee. Right arm to the side, knee is gonna come up and over. We're gonna start with the right hip down, right? So we're gonna keep the right hip down. So we first get that stretch. You bring the ball up and over, or the leg and the knee. And then if you want, you can turn that into the twist. And then that right hip stacks over the left. As you come back through center, you're gonna cross that right ankle over the left thigh, let it pivot open. Bend that left knee. Let's go ahead and grab the ball, bring it behind the left hamstring. And now again, we'll get some mobility through that left ankle. Then bend that knee, cross the right leg all the way over, reach for that left shin. Give it a big hug and slightly over to the right. And that's where you start to feel that big, deep stretch in the right hip. Then if you want to, you can just continue the stretch, or you can bring your arms into a T and let the knees drop to the right for a big twist. Come on back through center, and that ball is where you need it, behind the left hamstring. Go ahead and hug that left knee in. Maybe draw a nice big circle, and then pull it over to your left armpit. Foot comes inward. Go ahead and reach down. Right leg is off to the side. Point and flex against your own hand. Move side to side. Mobility in that ankle, mobility in all those little tootsie bones, those bones of the toes. And then once again, pull it back and then move your knee inside of your arm, flex through that right heel, straighten it out. Lift that left heel to the sky. And then eventually roll that ball up, point, flex, roll back down. Bend the knee, and we'll hug that knee up and over to the right, keeping the left hip down at first. Up and over, hip down, up and over. Then when you're ready, go into that full twist if you like, or stay with the stretch. Back through center, crisscross right over left, right leg up in the air, left over right, sorry about that. Move your ball to behind the right hamstring, and we'll mobilize through that right. Then we'll bend that knee, crisscross left over right, reach for the right shin. Pull the ball up and over, or the knees. You've got that big stretch, you're welcome to stay with that, or bring your arms out and drop knees to the right. Then we come on back through center, arms up overhead. I'm going to give you an option to come up, and that is to throw the ball up and over so that you have to go get it to bring yourself up. Ish. All right, come on over to your hands and knees for me, please. Let's bring those arms out front as we undulate through a cow and a cat. And then we'll tuck those hands right underneath us. We'll elevate those knees, pedal through the heels. Wide stance, hang over, nod yes and shake no. Hands on your thighs, one more cat, one more cow. Bring it up. We have curtsies for the gentlemen. Thank you guys.